Alright guys, I'm back. Um, Thank you for sticking with us. Sorry for the delay. I'm gonna open this up here. Actually, it's around dinner time for me. It's not late at all. But we don't have time for that. Ugh. So who knows, I might eat in like 4 hours or something. But anyway, I got a little snack here. So there's no face cam for now. I'm going to be secretly, don't tell anyone, I'm going to be secretly wolfing down these two Pop-Tarts. Hold me over until I have the chance to have a proper supper. But we're gonna look at these maps that Days and Daras sent me, and so let's generate them in the scenario editor, and then we'll see if we get a challenger. So I'm really hoping that we get some good games in on these maps. Give them some feedback. I think the map contest submissions are due tomorrow, so anything that we can do to help him out so he can make some quick adjustments. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. So the first one is Autumn. And Autumn appears to be, it's actually, I like it. It's quite pretty.
Greeting?
There appears to only be 2 wood lines per player, so that will make games very aggressive. The wood lines are large, though, which is nice. And there's generally a lot of wood everywhere else on the map. So it's a pretty map for sure. And there's partial snow covering the ground because, well, that's what autumn is all about, is getting some snow and realizing that winter's right at your door. So it looks like he's got a few bears out here. I don't know. Maybe Days and Daras can tell us. Did you increase the bear density so that people would be less likely to wall? 2 boars. You basically start with the sheep or the cows under your town center, which is good. I think it's kind of getting meta. Not meta. Well, meta for map scripters, but it's becoming kind of the standard. Is there always a pond in the center of the map? It kind of looks like there is. That's cute. I like that. All right, so here's this player's wood lines. Everything else is too far away. Tech would find a way to wall this, though, for sure. So he's got different sized forest patches, too. It looks nice. Like, it looks like the countryside during autumn. And that's to be appreciated. Okay. The golds are far away. That's annoying. And the stone is even further. Oh gosh, yeah, this is going to be very aggressive. So I'm wondering if Days and Daras has a map for every season. He has autumn here. What about summer? What about winter? What about spring? Does he have maps for those as well? Nice. I like this attention to detail. This is good. This is how you know people care about their maps. He has a wolf standing next to a dead monk. That's cute. Guarding that relic. So is there always one relic in the center? It looks like a special relic. The other relics are on this side. There's one back here. I'd say the relic situation maybe favors red a little bit. I'm not sure. Here's the wolf. Can't see the dead monk. Wolves will not actually, they won't attack monks, of course, but it's just sort of cute. Maybe that monk was, well, maybe he was not professional in his ways, and the wolf saw him for what his heart really was. Yeah. Okay. So I think we've looked at this map. It's super pretty. I'm looking forward to playing it. It looks like a more aggressive version of Arabia. All right, here's River Valley. Now, River Valley, the player positions are fixed. There is no elevation. So if the opponent sends ships toward your base, you will have a harder time fighting those ships off because you won't get an attack bonus. Lots of hills otherwise. Mixed forests. Hmm. This is interesting. A large patch of minerals. Is this in the same spot every time? It is. Interesting. It looks like he created a land there, would be my guess. He created a land and then placed the golds and stones on that land ID. That would be my guess. Either that or the land has a unique, no, I don't think so, has a unique terrain type, and then he's placing those on those terrains. So essentially your gold is rangeable by ships. And this is very difficult to wall. So this would be a very, very aggressive map as well. You do have stone and gold in the back though. So if you wanted to play this map defensively, I mean, would you even touch that gold? Or would you just go back? Even your farm space could be denied by ships. There are other shallows up here, so if you went land military, you could maybe get a sneak crossing in. I love demolition ships, though. If this river consisted entirely of shallows, then ships would be less powerful, because then the land units could come and fight them whenever they wanted. But as it stands now, the ships can withdraw to the river to get away from the land units. What do you guys think? You have to let me know. Where is everybody? Well, I'm ready to see these maps in action. I think they look pretty good. There's a couple bears, some wolves out here. It's gonna be hard to come out to these neutral areas to collect resources because of all the animals out there. But again, looks good. Are these... Oh, this player's main goal is back now. That's nice. This player's main goal is forward. But his berries are forward. He has a terrible map. This player's berries aren't much better, though. Okay. All right, so who's ready to play? Do we have a challenger? Shoot, I'm invisible. Well, let's go online. Looks like T-Bomber's online. The plush werewolf is online. Birdfan, welcome. Birdfan says, I would play, but I don't think I'm good enough for testing a map. I like the map, though. Nonsense, Birdfan. We will power you up. We will give you 200% handicap. And you'll be making mistakes all left and right, and it won't matter because you'll be so powerful. But I think that's fine. Then you can provide your thoughts. Just because you're not high elo doesn't mean you don't have good thoughts. It doesn't mean that what you think doesn't matter or isn't important. There's one thing that you should learn from the community. It's that. All right, who else have we got in chat? Where's the T-Bomber? Let me message T-Bomber. We can do this. We can do a couple of them. But I would prefer to cast this with Dez and Darius. So that would be ideal. And then I wouldn't have to subject you guys to the hideousness, so-called hideousness of the cubes. Birdfan versus T-Bomber could be interesting. T-Bomber is a much more skilled player, but we can give Birdfan handicap for that. That could be interesting. Who else have we got around? All right. I messaged T-Bomber in a couple places. Hopefully he's here soon. He knows how to download the maps and put them in the proper folder. But this is something that you could do, Birdfan, if you wanted to as well. Okay. Perfect. T-Bomber's here. So, hey, T-Bomber, talk to Birdfan, and you guys can decide if you want to play the River Valley first, or if you guys want to play Autumn first. And give Birdfan some healthy handicap, and then Dazandaras and I will co-cast the match. Birdfan, he wants to play, and I'm never going to turn somebody away because of skill level. So Autumn is basically like Arabia, but with 2 wood lines and resources that are further away. So it's going to be more aggressive. And then we were just showing off River Valley, which is this swirling river going through the center of it with some shallows. All right. So let me go over to voice here. I'll step away real quick. We're going to go into TV voice, and then we're going to pull Dazandaras into voice with us. So be right back. All right. So let me pull Dazandaras into chat with us. All right. Hello, Dazandaras. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I hope you can hear me fine too.
Yes. Okay, you're German, I would assume.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, very good. I didn't know if it didn't look like a German name, any German name I had ever seen before. But
it's
it's
more
fine.
or less just two words bunched together. Nothing you could identify.
All right. Fair enough then. So welcome to the show. We've got people that love to try new maps, and the scripting contest has given us an opportunity to make some friends and help playtest maps for different scripters to try to get them the most feedback possible. So ultimately, we've said this on the show many times that that the scripter is the expert of their map and what they're going for and how to convert their ideas into a map script. So we try not to bring the map scripts up on the stream too often because it's not really any of my business. But the guys will test them and they'll give feedback on them and they'll give the scripters different things to think about and consider. All the different things that could go wrong or that a nitpicky judge that doesn't like you could come up with as a reason for punishing your map. So it's really just for their benefit, for you benefit because you get the feedback from them. We benefit, the players benefit because they enjoy this kind of crazy stuff, and I benefit because I get to make content off of it. So everybody wins, and of course the Age of Empires community benefits because the map is you are the most prepared that you can be to defend the decisions that you made about the map. But I gotta say, looking at both of these maps, you have a really, really good eye for how to make a map pretty. The only thing you're missing is excessive amounts of plants and useless eye candy.
Well, I think most people don't want useless plants and eye candy. Like, I play mostly team games in a higher rated area than I'm playing 1v1. And I know everybody just plays with useless plant remover and cube mods, so It should look pretty, but I don't want to overfill it with stuff.
Yeah, no worries. It's all about what the scripter wants to add. I've always thrown it in there and just let them do the useless plant remover to get rid of it. But some people like to save them that step. I think you got bears, you got wolves, you got all kinds of different terrain patches. Like this is beautiful, man. Good job.
Yeah, I experimented today with the masking area. Like it's the second map I coded or I finished. I started map coding in um, October last year. I started my first script and tried a few things, and I never used the terrain mask. Like I didn't know what to
Oh.
expect when using it, and now I realized, okay, it's more or less like it creates the same patterns that like grass 2 or grass 3 would give you already, but just like more specific. So I just
Mm-hmm.
throw them on the map and said, do your thing.
With yeah, it gives you more options, right? When you can terrain mask, you've got all kinds of different permutations and possibilities for how you put that terrain down.
Yeah.
So
Um,
it's a very valuable. It will make your maps very beautiful. Um, that's for sure. So you said you play around a 1350 level, right?
yeah, 1v1, but I rarely do play 1v1s. I play like 2,500 team games. That's more like what I would say or call myself
Holy crap,
as
man.
I'm.
That's pretty good. You want to know what my team game elo is? My team game elo
Sure.
is like 1500.
Okay,
It's very
that's not
bad.
that high.
um,
Um,
okay, so you
if
play
you
with a
if you
lot
have
of
few
guys that are
mates,
like you play
if you
with
have
a
few
lot of like
mates, yeah,
hardcore Arabia and or arena guys, like guys that are like, this is what we want out of a map, and these are the rules, and this is what you got to do. So you probably hear a lot of that.
I do play like that. Like I'm all for playing archers flank. It's all I can do. It's all I do in 1v1s, and it never got me above 1400.
Oh, okay. You're an archers guy. That's interesting. Well, good for you. I like archers too, but they're they can be annoying sometimes. That's for sure. Good range damage output. Okay, so the guys are booting up the game now. They're going to get launched into a lobby. Somebody's going to send me a link somewhere when they're ready, and you and I will go and spectate the match and we'll co-cast it. But for those that are just joining now, can you explain, what you're going for with each of these maps? We'll start with the Des River Valley. What's the plan with this map? What are you hoping to see? What are some things that you designed that you're like worried about might happen, but you're not sure and you want to see through the testing? Talk me through your process when you were designing and building this map.
I had the idea of a beautiful valley in my mind. The original like work in progress name was Valley of Mines. So I wanted like to have like many areas where like I would script like little mining areas where they would dig up like the gold and the stone. But then during creation, I just went a little bit away from it, and like these gold and stone patches are the relic from the original idea, yeah.
Okay.
And I like aggressive maps. I dislike walling.
Don't like walls,
Like
huh? Well, this is a very aggressive map. This is quite the wall off here. That doesn't mean players won't try, but dang, man. Look at all this
I
shallows here.
yes, that's why I put there this really big shallows, and I showed it earlier today to my more experienced 1v1 players. They said like, oh yeah, this map is all in water, and I was like, it doesn't
Mm,
need to be all in water. You could just go something else, but I do see why it would be all in water, and that's something I would like to know if I would need to replace the Terra in the middle with something else instead of shallows, so like
mm-hmm.
blocking the ships into two different areas. This is an
Ah,
idea I might want to think about. I think it would take away a lot of the visual appeal of the map. Um,
yeah,
but
that's
I don't know. Maybe it's a great water map. Maybe I'm just lucky.
I don't know. It's really hard to say. These contests are all, there's not many requirements that are defined. It's just make something and send it to us, and if the feelings of the people that are judging it are in alignment with what you make, you win. So I think there's a lot of RNG that's involved. It's just the RNG is people's feelings. I never like
Sure. Yeah.
designing around people's feelings, but when it comes to some things like visual appeal, obviously, and originality are much more subjective qualities than competitiveness. And is there like one strategy that's totally broken, and if you pick a civ on a map, they always win, sort of things? Those are a lot easier to quantify and figure out. Um, did you consider? But for now, yeah, we have to judge that based on people's feelings because we don't have any ways of measuring maps yet. Did you consider elevating the player lands over the water so that
Yes,
you
I
would have
did
a hill
consider
bonus
that.
against ships?
Yes, I did consider it, and it might be one of the easier things to do to less emphasize going onto water. Um, yeah, I'd love to see it played out the way it is right now.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's hope that these guys pick this one. They might pick the other one. I mean, who knows?
I'm I'm
Um,
fine with that too.
but we should have time to do both today.
Awesome.
I mean, they look like very aggressive maps, and we may even do both at the same time. We've tested other people's maps several times. So, but yeah, if because it can be rough, right? If you've got your forward gold and the guy's got galleys on your forward gold, that's a pretty tough situation. And you do
Yes.
have secondary gold, but that could also be ranged. Maybe there's a
Yeah.
tertiary. Yeah, there is a tertiary gold
So
that's out of range, but
yeah,
there are some
there,
wolves
there are
nearby.
3 goals for each player, and I set quite big avoidance this for these gold altogether. So it might, in a really rare circumstance, be that all 3 goals are close to the water.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, it sure might. But I mean, there are always these the golden stone patches in the south and north of the map that will always generate at the same place, like the mines in the top, and that's like a
Yeah.
safe spot where you could always go. It's like you have a fairly short distance to there, and in feudal, players won't be able to either block you away from going through to the shallows that's close to your spawn, or the other way is you can just like take the land route. It's a little bit longer, and but you will be able to have access to gold and stone.
Mm-hmm.
And in most generations, I struggled with it, like creating, for sure, creating more than one or even two connections with shadows. And yeah, like there's barely a connection in the bottom at the close to the edge. So like scouts, heavy scouts, and like raiding the other players should, for me, always be a viability to at least try.
Yeah, I see what you're saying here because the neutral gold stone patch that you're talking about, this mine area, is
Yeah.
technically closer to your town center if you cross the river. If you don't want to
Yes.
cross the river, you have to travel further. So that's an interesting design. Um, did you why not make the entire river shallow? Why are some sections of the river deep? I'm just kind of curious. I'm not saying it's
Because
wrong or
otherwise
anything.
I couldn't spawn fish.
Really? That's it? That's the only reason? So if you had your way, if you knew that you
Yeah,
could spawn fish, you would have made this entire thing shallow?
probably yes.
Okay. You can spawn fish on any terrain if you place them as a second object to an invisible placeholder.
Okay,
So,
I thought so, but yeah,
so,
okay.
yep. So it's up. So I actually have another map called Showkill. I'll show you that I originally developed the swirling river script for the
Yeah,
sine wave. I'll show you an example of that. A sec. So T-Bomber says, I tried to put it in the Steam folder, but it won't work. Did you try restarting your game? So this is technically Shallows, if you can see it on the stream. Um,
yes,
and the fish are placed on invisible object number 647 on DLC New Shallow. But it also has regular water masked over the shallows. So you might be able to try
Ah,
something like that for your river. So even though it
oh,
looks like
that's cool.
some deep river here, it's actually all shallows, and you can just walk across it. Now, in this case, though, you kind of fight because there's this area in the middle of the map that it will not elevate. Like if you're within 7 or 9 tiles of the player lands, it will not elevate terrain. So I think that
Yes.
for the purposes of this isn't about me, this is about yours. I'm just kind of showing you an example here. But if we go back to your map, Des Anderas, um, here we go, River Valley.
Yeah, no, it starts with an D. It says Des River
Yep.
Valley. So
If
I,
we
I always find them close to each other.
Yep. So if you were to elevate everything, let's say that you applied a blanket elevation of 1 to everything, it would
Yeah.
actually avoid this town center area by 7 or 8 tiles or something like that. And so
Yes.
you would have this like crater, if you will, and then the river would be
Yeah.
here, and there might be a little bit of a lump here, but then it would go back down to the crater. So villagers that were farming around the town center might still have no hill bonus against the ships. But if you were to
Yes.
place the base of the town center at a certain elevation, that might be able to work. So
So I'm
that's
I'm
something to
I'm
think about.
creating the spawns with create player lands. Or not with create player lands, but I create the lands
Yep,
manually. Should I
yep,
then be able to set an elevation to it?
absolutely. You can. I do it all the time.
Sure. Let me just.
So T Bomber asks, "Is it a scenario?" Nope, it's a random map script. It's a random map scripting contest. Um, the other thing that I might be able to help you out with, if you want, and this is a little bit, maybe it's too radical, but I can actually make another sine wave directly below this and another one directly above it out of grass at a higher elevation. And what that sort of does is it like seeds the higher elevation to generate properly and create the banks of the river. I actually had to do it with Shulkill because the elevation is still biased toward the bottom of the map. But if you have elevated lands, then the elevation that you're creating in create elevation will it'll like flock to it.
Yeah.
It's sort of strange. It's like woodpeckers pecking on trees and making trees more vulnerable and therefore die, and then more bugs live in them, and then more woodpeckers come and they beat up on the tree and they make it even more so. It's like elevation does the same thing. It sticks to its own kind and makes that even more elevated. So that's something that you can consider. Another thing that you could do is you could give the fish an actor area, and you could tell the golds to avoid that actor area. So if you wanted, let's say that you were confident in your ability to place these fish anywhere on the river, whether you made it completely all shallows or whether you made it sections of deep water, whatever you decide to do. And you can also mask water as well, as I mentioned before. If you
Yes.
told the golds to avoid the fish, then they would end up at the back of your base. So that's something that you could consider. Okay, how are T-Bomber and Bird Fan coming? Let me check. See if these guys have figured out how to get in. I haven't seen any updates yet. But I gotta say, this looks beautiful. You've got a good sense for what looks nice, and I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate that. And I like this river too. I love it when people experiment with new shapes. Everybody wants to make reskins of Arabia, which is I say that now, and we're gonna go look at your other map, which is very
Yeah,
similar to
I did a
Arabia.
Arabia
But
reskin.
your Arabia reskin looks nice, and there to me it may not be. I want to say they're obvious, but they may not be obvious to everyone's. But there are subtle differences that make it not Arabia.
Yeah, I mean that's I obviously started with recreating Arabia when I did my first map script
Mm-hmm.
because it's like the original map. Like I don't know how many maps I played. I played Arabia when I was younger. probably a bazillion times. So obviously the first map I went for was Arabia, and then I thought about, okay, so what are my personal problems that I have with Arabia when playing it? What would be the thing I'd rather do? And then I came up, okay, so I dislike people walling. Like I like fast games with a lot of action. Even more when I'm spectating a map than when I'm playing myself too. But even then, like I normally tend to play 1TC all in. Like doesn't matter if
Okay.
if I'm a flank on a team game. I think early Arbalest, such a power spike, you can clean up or like hold, even though your pocket needs to help out on the other side, or
Yep.
you lost early fights. But when you have this fast imp, it's a power spike that's really important. So I think, great, let's do this in 1v1s too. That's what I always do. I think if I want to play Farming Simulator, I can watch T90 or something like that.
All right. So Days and Dares, I'm gonna play Plush Werewolf, and then T-Bomber and Birdfan are gonna play later. We're gonna play on your
Okay.
river map first,
All
and
right.
and then if T-Bomber and Birdfan can, if one of them can figure out how to get the map loaded into the game properly, then we'll do that one afterward. So I'm gonna hop out of voice, but I am still
Sure.
streaming. And we're going to play,
Yes.
now that you and I have had the chance to talk about your river map, which I think is really cool, Plush and I are going to
Thank you.
play on it. Plush Werewolf is mid 1300s as well. So you'll get
Okay.
to see us
So
play it at a mid 1300 level or so.
yeah, but it should be a fair matchup. That's like important, right?
Yep. So
No one control the other one. That's what I want to say.
we're not 2K players. We're not even 15 or 1600 players, but we're still better than probably 90% of the people, 85 to 90% of the people that play ranked 1v1s. So it should be worth something for you. And
Sure.
we
Yes.
can get, if you want, or if he's able, we might be able to get Plush on the show afterward to talk about some ideas maybe that he has about it and his experience. But I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you giving us some stuff to try. It's going to be a lot of fun. So looks like, oh, Plush has already invited me. All right, but you've given me all the dirt. I have an advantage against Plush now. Actually, he was probably watching too, so he's gonna have heard all of our conversations. Okay, all right. We'll talk to you later, Days and Daras. Stay tuned,
Sure. Yes.
and if you really have to go, then we will have the recording. But I hope to get the chance to
No,
talk to you about the other
I'm
maps
here
and
all
stuff.
night now.
Oh, excellent. All right. We'll talk to you later then. I'm going to go beat Plush real quick or get beaten by Plush real quick. Either
Sure.
way, it's going to
Sounds
be an
awesome.
aggressive map. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Thank you.
Okay, so tiny map, tinny map, tinny map size. Regicide mode. Victory Conquest, that looks right.
No.
No, I always just like to joke about that. All right. Good luck, have fun. He's going in blind, by the way. We were talking about it. Plush. These guys don't watch my stream. All right, good luck, have fun. File size appears to be small, so that's good. He is watching TV. So he watches through YouTube. All right. Let's see what we can do against the plush werewolf. Ah, Hindustanis, really? We'll see.
Swasti, aku pembangun gedung. Iya, aku akan marwah. Apa sasarannya? Swasti akan marwah. Aku pembangun gedung.
Swasti aku marwahnya mengumpulkan.
I bet Plush is confused by the pick of Malay here. I guess it sort of does make sense because this is a water map.
Apa sasananya Baginda? Iya. Aku mengumpulkan. Apa sasananya Baginda? Siap. Iya. Aku marwat. Siap.
Iya, aku mengumpulkan. Aku pembangun gedung. Apa sasarannya? Aku mengumpulkan. Iya, aku panumbang kayu.
Alright.
Aku pengerti mengumpulkan.
Nice try. The villagers trying to sneak the bonus sheep.
Iya, aku penumpang kayu.
Swasti aku mengumpulkan. Apa sasarannya? Aku mengumpulkan. Siap, aku mengerti. Aku marwah. Aku tuha buru. Iya, apa sasananya? Aku pengerti.
Apa sasananya mengumpulkan?
Swasti, aku marwat. Siap, aku mengumpulkan.
Iya. Siap.
Iya, aku tuha buru. Apa sasananya? Aku tuha buru. Swasti, aku tuha buru.
Siap. Iya. Aku mengerti. Aku penumpang kayu.
Siap, aku tuha buru. Iya, aku mengerti. Aku panumbang kayu. Swasti, apa sasananya Baginda?
Swasti. Aku tuha buru. Iya. Aku akan marwatnya.
Siap, aku tuha buru.
Siap. Aku akan marwatnya. Siap. Aku tuha rawa.
Iya,
Oh.
aku akan marwatnya. Apa sasananya? Siap, aku tuha buru. Swasti akan tuha buru. Siap, aku tuha buru. Swasti tuha buru. Apa sasananya Baginda? Aku pembangun gedung.
I actually have not played Plush Werewolf in a long time.
Iya, aku pembangun gedung.
Apa sasananya Baginda? Iya. Aku mengumpulkan. Swasti. Siap. Aku mengumpulkan.
Interesting, he's milling the fish.
Siap, iya, aku akan marwatnya.
Apa sasarannya Baginda?
Apa sasananya Baginda? Siap. Swastika, aku pengerti. Aku mengerti. Siap, iya, aku penumpang kayu.
Swasti, aku mengumpulkan. Siap, aku
Oh, come on, let me up.
Aku pengerti. Aku pengerti.
Apa sasarannya mengumpulkan?
Apa sasaran Baginda?
There we go.
Iya, aku marwat. Aku penumpang kayu. Apa sasananya Baginda? Aku marwatnya.
Siap, aku marwat. Aku pemangun gedung. Swasti, aku mengumpulkan. Iya, aku penumpang kayu.
I think we have to go archers. I don't think he's going to give me any choice.
Siap.
I don't even want to build that there.
Iya.
No.
Aku mengerti.
I have no choice.
Siap.
Swasti, aku mengerti. Aku penumpang kayu.
Aku akan marwatnya. Siap, iya. Aku akan marwatnya. Aku penumpang kayu.
Apa sasarannya Baginda? Iya, aku penumpang kayu. Aku pemangun gedung. Aku pemangun gedung.
Iya, aku penumpang kayu. Iya, aku akan marwatnya. Siap.
Prepared to lose water.
Siap.
Apa sasaran penumpang kayu? Siap. Aku penumpang kayu.
Actually, I should figure out what he's up to.
Ya, aku pengerti. Iya, aku maju. Apa sasarannya? Aku pengerti.
Aku mengerti.
Apa sasarannya? Angkat senjata.
Siap.
Ya, aku Baginda.
Apa sasaran Baginda?
Come on.
Iya. Maju.
Iya, aku akan marwat penumpang kayu. Siap.
Apa sasarannya? Ya, aku Baginda. Swasti, aku pemangun gedung. Apa sasarannya Baginda? Aku pemangun gedung. Siap. Aku marwat. Aku penumpang kayu. Aku pemangun gedung.
Apa sasarannya Baginda? Iya, aku pengerti. Siap.
Apa sasarannya Baginda? Aku Baginda. Iya, aku pengerti. Swasti.
Aku akan marwatnya. Aku penumpang kayu.
Apa sasarannya Baginda? Aku pemangun gedung.
Iya, aku pengerti. Aku penumpang kayu. Apa sasaran?
I don't think he scouted my gold. Which is nice.
Iya, Baginda. Aku pengerti. Ya, Baginda. Aku marwat.
Iya, aku akan marwatnya. Siap.
Apa sasarannya Baginda? Aku pemangun. Aku pemangun gedung. Aku pengerti. Apa sasarannya marwatnya? Aku pemangun.
So he's going to come this way instead.
Aku marwat.
We'll let him have those. They're not doing much.
Iya. Aku pemangun gedung. Sasarannya Baginda. Iya, aku marwat. Apa sasarannya Baginda? Aku pemangun gedung. Aku pemangun gedung. Aku penggali tambang. Siap. Aku pemangun gedung. Aku pemangun gedung. Aku memanda. Iya, aku akan membangun gedung.
Aku panggali tambang.
That's not getting out.
Iya, aku pengkaji. Ya, aku angkat senjata.
Apa sasananya, Baginda?
Siap. Aku penggali tambang.
Siap. Siap.
Apa sasananya,
Aku
Baginda?
penumpang
Ya,
kayu.
angkat senjata.
Pasti. Siap. 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 Iya. Siap. Pasti. Siap. Aku penumpang kayu. Aku pengerti. Siap. Aku panggali tambang.
Apa sasananya, Baginda? Swasti. Aku pemangun. Aku pemangun
Aku
gedung.
memanen.
Ya, aku buka, Baginda. Ya, Baginda. Aku pengerti.
Nice. I took him off of,
Aku akan merawatnya.
Why you guys do this to me? Come on.
Siap. Aku akan merawatnya. Aku pemangun gedung.
Siap. Siap.
Swasti. Aku penumbang kayu.
Apa sasananya, Baginda?
Iya, Baginda. Apa sasananya, Baginda? Iya, Baginda. Aku pengerti.
No fletching.
Aku pemangun gedung, Baginda. Aku pemangun gedung.
Oh, this is so bad.
Aku pengerti. Aku pemangun gedung. Iya. Aku pemangun gedung. Ya, aku pengerti.
Get out of there.
Apa sasananya, Baginda? Apa sasananya, Baginda? Aku pemangun gedung.
Let's just waste the time for his scouts
Siap.
till we get fully walled.
Iya. Aku marwat. Aku pemangun gedung. Apa sasananya, Baginda? Aku pemangun gedung.
Aku panggali tambang. Siap. Siap.
Siap. Aku pemangun gedung. Swasti. Aku pemangun gedung. Aku pemangun gedung.
That's fine.
Iya. Aku akan marwatnya. Aku pemangun gedung. Ya, Baginda. Aku marwat. Aku pemangun gedung.
Swasti.
Swasti. Apa sasananya, Baginda?
Siap. Aku akan merawatnya. Apa sasananya, Baginda? Aku panggali
Iya,
tambang.
Baginda. Siap. Aku pengerti. Aku penumbang kayu.
Alright, let's go. That worked out pretty well, actually.
Aku penumpang kayu.
Iya. Aku akan penumbang kayu. Swasti.
Oh.
Aku pemangun gedung. Aku pengerti. Aku pemangun gedung. Siap. Aku penumbang. Aku penumbang kayu.
Okay, he built a fire ship of his own.
Aku penumpang kayu.
I've already lost all of my navy, so it doesn't
Swasti.
matter. My fishing ships are all dead.
Aku penumbang kayu. Apa sasananya, Baginda?
So let's get a good let's get a good archer mass now. I think we need to add
Apa sasananya, Baginda?
another range.
Aku pemangun gedung mengumpulkan.
That's right, I forgot I'm Malay, so I advance faster. We're fully walled.
Siap. Aku pengerti. Aku pemangun gedung. Apa sasananya, Baginda? Iya. Aku marwat.
Alright, well we've got the crossbow power spike.
Swasti. Aku pemangun gedung.
Alright, let's go. Let's hope we don't see any demo ships from him.
Angkat sanjata. Apa syasananya bagi Marwat? Aku mengerti. Aku pemangun gedung.
Siap. Siap.
Oh, he's Castle Age as well. What? Since when? How about you guys go this way? Come on. So he's putting down another town center. Pikemen will deal bonus damage to ships.
Apa syasananya baginda? Aku maju. Apa syasananya baginda? Aku mengerti. Yasaku ka baginda. Aku baginda. Swasti.
Aku mamanen.
Apa
Aku
syasananya
mamanen
baginda?
mengerti. Siap. Siap.
We could build another town center out here. I think is the right thing to do. Let's come out here and build that, and then we'll wall this in. Oh, that thing is... I don't know what that thing was, but it's OP.
Apa syasananya baginda?
Baginda. Iya, aku akan merawatnya.
What the
Apa
heck?
syasananya baginda? Iya, aku akan merawatnya. Swasti, aku marwah.
Why is he taking my stone, too?
Apa syasananya baginda? Aku akan panumbang kayu. Swasti, aku pemangun gedung.
Well, so much for that.
Siap. Iya, aku panumbang kayu.
I guess I could buy my way up, maybe?
Yasaku ka baginda.
Can't do anything about those gulons.
Siap, aku akan merawatnya. Aku penumpang kayu.
I need the wood to get all my buildings down.
Marwat. Aku pemangun gedung. Iya, aku akan marwat. Apa syasananya baginda? Aku pemangun gedung. Aku pemangun gedung. Swasti. Aku marwat. Aku pemangun gedung. Aku pemangun
Iya.
gedung. Iya. Siap. Aku pemangun gedung.
Right.
Swasti. Aku akan marwatnya. Aku marwat. Aku pemangun gedung. Apa syasananya baginda? Aku pamar baik.
Aku pamar baginda.
Siap.
Aku pamar baik.
Aku pamar baik.
Siap. Apa sasananya baginda? Aku mamanen.
I don't know what the fuck that what that unit is, but
Apa syasananya?
apparently he gets them and they're very powerful. I should have seen that coming too. I was aware of this unit. Where were they even coming from? Where's the castle? There it is. Okay. I guess so. How was he so far ahead? This was a castle drop. He says it's like Funky Highland. Except you can't wall in the middle. Maybe we could have made some barracks and made a lot more swordsmen instead against this Gulam. Yeah, it's an Eagle Warrior. They really should just make it an Eagle Warrior. They have eagles in India, right? Anti-archer bonus damage? Ah, I see. He has 5 minutes. Okay. Alright, are T-Bomber and Bird Fan ready? This unit is OP.
Iya. Siap.
Alright, join Assembly Hall. Oh, they're shooting out there. Alright, Plush is going to join us.
All right, awesome.
So, Plush, what do you think about this map?
It's fun. I really like the TC placement.
Okay.
Really cool feature. Some thoughts I had primarily was like, how viable is shore fishing the deep fish supposed to be on this map? As in collecting with vills.
Oh, not too viable, but like you could be lucky, but it's not like intended that it will always be possible.
Yeah, I think my early game actually did suffer because I milled it instead of docked. But
yeah,
I just didn't know if that was the goal because I'm going in pretty blind. I caught the end of the stream, but I didn't really get a good look at the map, so I didn't know if that was exactly the plan. But that's good to know.
Why did you pick Hindustanis?
I didn't.
You went random?
Yes.
You randomed into Hindustanis?
Yep.
Did you seriously make all of those Eagle Warriors from your castle?
I did. Hey, at least I can't make them from a barracks.
I mean, I know, but you might as well be able to.
It is a very fast creation time. They'll probably get a nerf like the Poles did.
That was
with creation time.
That was brutal. Like 1 minute I was destroying you, and then another minute you just had this all of like 15 Eagle Warriors run in and kill
You weren't
everything.
destroying me.
I was picking off your villagers. I had a forward siege workshop on you. I had a nice ball of archers.
Did you even kill any bills?
Yeah, I killed like 2 or 3.
Okay,
In
well,
Castle Age.
I killed you 2 of yours in feudal, so it kind of balances out.
Well, yes, but what I'm saying is I had no time to react to this Gulam.
Yeah,
It was
I
a
know.
good
Did
play.
you scout my castle? I didn't know if you knew where that was.
Nope, I did not scout your castle. I scouted that area where your castle was, but it wasn't there at the time that I scouted it. Why did you
Gotcha.
take my stone?
Did I?
Yeah, you were
Oh,
mining.
that because I was already out there and I had scouted it and I wanted something for the bills to do.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So they built that
It is-
castle and then they went over and took more stone, or were you built that castle with the stone bills?
I built that castle and then went to stone.
Where did?
I took my own.
Oh, you
first.
had your own stone.
Yeah.
How did you? I still don't fully understand how you afforded everything. But then again, I was also a quarter of the way up to Imperial Age.
That's what killed you.
Imp into GG.
But to be fair, the Gulam is 30 food and 45 gold, so it's very cheap.
Well, GG though. That was a fun game.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts for Days and Daras on how, things that you liked about the map, things that maybe could be improved about the map, etc.?
So I already said I like the TC placement. I think that adds like a nice aggressive touch to the map. You can really snowball a victory into to winning the game like I did there. Gotta be careful. The map's fun. I didn't realize just how much wood was on the edge of the map. It seems like that's where you're meant to move naturally in the late game. I did build a TC there at the end.
Yeah, like the idea behind the wood at the edge of the map was just like if someone gets pushed off water completely, that there's still wood accessible. Like I did not really know what and I did not really know what to do else with it. Like as the players are so closely packed in the middle, I thought just that wood looks nice.
Yeah, I like it. I think like if you got like a nice evenly matched game through Castle Age, this could get to some like real interesting post-imp games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't even realize these golden stone patches. Oh, and one thing I wanted to note, it's kind of hard to build TCs.
Yeah, it is.
Like if you have interesting elevation on any sort of map, that's just kind of the way it goes. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. But it's an observation.
Okay, very good. Anything else for Days and Dara's plush?
I don't think so, and I gotta head out now. So
okay,
thanks for the game. It was a good time.
Thanks for joining us. I'll get my revenge another day.
Yes. All right. Have a good stream.
Yep.
All right.
See ya. Okay. So T-Bomber and Birdfan are next. Do you guys want to play this river map, or do you want to play the other more Arabia-like map? It's up to you guys. Let me know. Let me send them a quick message. Which one are you playing? The river one. He has autumn set up. Okay, excellent. T-Bomber wrote me back. So let me restart the game here. We will disable cubes. It's the other one. Yeah, it's the other one. Days and Dares will see you play the other one.
Awesome.
And then we could probably play some more because we do have some more time.
Like often I created as my first project. That should be the map that's viable with 8 players too.
Okay.
And like Valley, it's like because the spawns are scripted. Right now, it's only viable with 2 players. I'm not even sure how the game would react if I would want to create 4-player setup.
Yep. Yeah, I could probably help you with that.
Sure. Yeah, and like I don't know if you have later time and can help me with the upgrading of the special objects. I did some coding while you were in Dark Age and didn't work.
No problem. The deadline I think is tomorrow, which for you is today.
Yes.
So yeah, we can help you out with that. Maybe during their Dark Age, I'll take a look on another screen. Our T-Bomber, T-Bomber and Birdfan are coming. Because I could have spent this time making a map for the event, but I decided it would be better if I just tried to help people and make friends. Okay.
That's a nice thing.
So let's go and try to find their game now. And they agreed on a handicap. T-Bomber. Birdfan is actually scary if he has the handicap. It seems like Birdfan, he tries to do the right thing, but he just doesn't have the economy for it. But with the handicap, you don't need as much economy.
Yes.
Okay, and Birdfan, another thing is that Birdfan loves Vikings. All right, so Days, Underas, and I are in the peanut gallery, T-Bomber, and we are ready to cast your match. So send me a lobby link. Yeah, I really did feel like I was I felt like I was going to win, but then all those Ghulams, I didn't even think about the Ghulams. I'm not familiar with the Ghulams. I should learn more about the Hindustanis. Had a good archer mass on him. Well, not big, but I couldn't see what he had. I should have scouted that castle. All right. Oh, right. We want to go to spectate games, don't we? T-Bomber. It's searching. Bird Fan. Here we go. T-Bomber versus Bird Fan. So we're going to spectate. Have you found the game yet?
I'm just needed to restart as I weren't finding any games, but
Oh, okay.
once you're in, you probably can give me the lobby code.
Just type Bird Fan, Bird space Fan, into the chat, and you should be able to find it. I actually don't know
On
the
it,
code.
perfect.
All right, I am going to catch up to real time here. What is the map size? They play on a large map.
Oh yeah, awesome.
No, they need to play on a regular size map. Otherwise, this is going to take forever, and it won't give you the information you need.
I guess on a large map size, straight fast castle is a viable option.
All right, I sent T-Bomber a message. They're okay to play it like this, but we need to see it on the appropriate size.
Yeah, I'm interested how confused they now will be with the resources, as they just spawned with extra berries, but the distribution or the chance to get extra berries is only 33%.
There's only a 33% chance to get extra berries?
Yeah, the other two 33% chances are extra hunt and or extra sheeps. And there's to have it even, there's a 1% chance to get all of them. So you get extra hunt, extra berries, and extra sheep. That's like a little bit gimmicky, but I mean, it will be a novelty.
Oh, you have road here. That's interesting.
Yeah, that sometimes did. Oh, why do I have road there? That's really interesting. Okay.
All right, they're gonna read. Bird Fan was victorious. Okay. Sorry about that. At least it wasn't regicide mode. They would have noticed that much more quickly, though.
I'm not even sure. I might even have scripted the map completely to even feature regicide. At least I have an unfinished version that features regicide and even Empire Wars.
So, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but can you actually stream through Discord in this TV voice channel and show me your code on the River Valley where you're adding the fish? Maybe I can help you.
Oh, I'm not allowed to stream here.
You're not? What?
No.
Oh.
I'm not allowed to stream in this channel.
Well, someone should. Okay, we'll sneak one in over here in this other channel, and I will, because I think it's the second time that that's come up actually. So we'll see what you've got.
So I put it into player setup because I heard that's where you need to put these effect amount things. Is that right?
Yeah. What does that have to do with the fish, though?
I don't know. You said I upgrade like imaginary objects to fish, right?
No. So
Okay.
get rid of that. I don't even know what is BF. What is that even? What is object number 653?
653 is just I just went here and thought like, okay, let's have a look
Oh, the
at
placeholder.
the placeholder object. So 653 is just another placeholder like 649. It's just
Oh,
a
all right.
dead
Well,
unit.
first of all, it can be the same one. You can use the same one for everything.
Okay.
So go
Yeah.
ahead and close that down and get rid of
Okay.
that effect amount upgrade unit thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So go down to object generation where you have
Sure.
your. All right, show me where you're making your fish.
Also, I was making the fish down here.
Okay. So go ahead and uncomment that. The deep fish part. Okay. So underneath max distance to other zones, type second object fish salmon. So you see how you're creating object fish salmon there? So underneath that, type second object. So second underscore object. And then just type salmon. SALMON. Okay, now create object and then replace fish salmon. No, at where you have fish salmon,
Oh, okay.
replace that with off grid.
Up here.
Yep. Underscore grid. Now above that create object, add another line of code that says pound sign CONST.
Yeah.
Off grid 647 or whatever invisible placeholder you want to use. All right, now go down to terrain to place on for that off grid placeholder and place it on DLC new shallow. So this will get your fish to show up and the fish will show up as a second object. So now you can go ahead and try generating that in the scenario editor.
Okay.
After you saved it, and that should get you what you need. Just make sure that works for you. I can only read some of those.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Okay.
There they are.
And you can add all kinds of temp, min, distance, group placements if you want, and you can like off-grid placeholders are super, not off-grid, but just invisible placeholders are incredibly useful. So,
Okay,
for
yeah,
example, you may find that you can't get your gold to avoid the river properly by avoiding those fish because the fish are too far apart. So
yes.
what you can do is you can just place like way more of those invisible placeholders, but not give them any kind of second object. And then you can just tell the gold to avoid those. Like if you
Yeah,
put
I can give them wardens,
placeholders,
yes.
yeah, everywhere in this DLC new shallow, maybe you space them like 1 or 2 tiles apart so they've got reasonably good coverage. And then you tell the gold to avoid those, then you won't have the forward golds.
Okay, so I have another question. I elevated the player spawn area,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have this really nice grid here going around where like it didn't connect, probably because of the land generation.
All right.
Have a look at that as we are creating. This one is now obsolete. Up here we're creating elevation. Yeah, okay, so like I have I changed from grass 2 to grass 1. I probably have to just elevate grass 2 and 3 to elevation level 1, 2, right? Or
Yeah, so the first thing to do would be to elevate your base terrain to have an elevation of 1 to match your player lands. That's the first thing to do, so you shouldn't have that seam. Otherwise, I think it will get confused. I also recommend decreasing the base size of the player lands. It might decrease the impact that they have on that river, because right now they're pulling the beach up, and you can actually have ships getting hill elevation, or hill bonuses, because they can sit on the beach and then they could shoot at other ships that were below.
So how do I do that?
How do you decrease the size of the base? So where it says there should be an argument for base size for these your player lands wherever you're creating them. So if you scroll down, the player
I'm
lands that are assigned to players.
Yes.
So scroll down a little bit more. Keep scrolling. I don't see it yet. Keep scrolling.
I make here create land and then assign to player 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's right there in front of me. Well, you know what you should do is you should assign to player -10 0 0 0. And what that will do is it'll make it so that if somebody selects something other than blue or red, it'll assign to any player. So minus
So minus
10.
10,000.
No, 10 space 0 space 0 space 0, I believe.
Ah, okay. And what if
So
player 2?
each of the zeros need to have the same spacing between them.
I see.
And that should work regardless of what teams people select. Okay. I believe that you want those 4 arguments. Let me check mine because I do this all the time. No, it's only 2 zeros. I'm sorry. It's only 2 zeros. It's not 3. Okay. So you got base elevation 1. Where are you stating the base size?
It's number of tiles here.
No,
like-
that is the land growth. So the base size is a perfect square around the center of that origin.
Okay.
So it looks like you don't have a base size specified. So the number of
No, I
tiles
don't.
is just how much it grows beyond that. So if you did like a base
see.
size of 3 or something, it would give you a 3 by 3 tile that you're guaranteed to have a square, and then everything else is going to be organic. I don't know what the default base size for you is.
Yeah. So I think in the tiny map script, it's actually contained by the fully contained within the borders I set, so that I have the player lens. But actually, I probably can just get rid of these.
Or you comment them out at least. Maybe you need them again. All right, and just if you can, humor me and change the terrain type to be the same as grass and see if that seam still forms.
I'll do that first. I just add an elevation. Create elevation. On grass, 3 number of tiles, doesn't matter. I want to create elevation 1, right? That's the one I have.
So if your player lands have the same terrain type as the surrounding terrain that is elevated, and they have the same elevations, it should come out without seam.
Yeah, but when I assign them the same terrain type, I can't address them individually to like give them the forests, right?
Oh, well then in that case you can use set avoid player start areas to change everything else beyond a certain distance to a different terrain.
Okay, I'll do it on my next map. I don't want to change it now completely. It's
okay. All right. Let's see if T-Bomber and Birdfan are ready. Let me take a look. Okay, let's find a custom game here. And we got T-Bomber. Search for him. We'll go back up into the other voice channel, the TV voice channel, so that people's grandmas can't intrude on the conversation. All right, let's see if we can find Birdfan.
Yep, Birdfan is available for me.
All right. 13 is default from avoid player area. Yes. All right, so you found it?
Yes, I found it.
Oh, right. I'm looking in the wrong place. Spectate games. Okay. So T-Bomber is the Koreans and Birdfan is the Vikings. We're back into this, guys. I'm sorry for the delay. But we got it now. Hopefully they're playing on the right map size.
Yeah, so this time they spawned with an extra hunt, I can tell you already.
Okay.
They have 6 ibexes at a fairly close distance.
I appreciate that because it means that you don't exactly know what resources you're going to get, so you don't know that you want to pick Britons or Mongols or something like that.
Yeah,
They
that was
might
the
not.
idea behind it.
They might not like that. They might be like, well, you have to have certain guarantees. But they'll call it mega random. But I like that. T-Bomber actually
Yeah.
milling his ibexes.
I mean, it's 6 ibexes. I think that's a reasonable idea.
It's worth it. Birdfan is going to do the same. I don't know what handicap the players are playing on, but T-Bomber is doing an archer's build.
Yeah, and she's... Oh, yeah, you're still speeding up, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm not going
I'm
to spoil.
trying to get to present here. They actually
No, I'm at
started
present.
really quick. You are at present. Okay. So I'll be there soon.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So Birdfan has a barracks. He built his market and his blacksmith right next to his town center. All right, here we go. T-Bomber is moving in with some archers. Okay, Birdfan has 8 villagers and he is taking this ibex. Oh no, look at this lumber camp on the other side of the wood from Birdfan. Hopefully for him, T-Bomber will never find that. T-Bomber actually has not scouted Birdfan's woodlines at all. So he doesn't know where Birdfan is taking wood. He probably assumes... Okay, he sees a lumberjack now. Does he see the other woodline? No,
I think if he's going directly like to the edge of the woodline, he probably could scout it, but like there's like no reason to do so. So probably not.
So Birdfan has some level of handicap. Does Birdfan not have loom yet? His villagers have 30,
No, I don't think so.
30 HP. He needs to get loom immediately. He has some skirmishers out now. Going back out to this gold. What's T-Bomber doing? He's just doing
What do you think of the building wall of T-Bomber?
Seems reasonable. Were you expecting something like that?
I mean, obviously people do that. I like it that he did not achieve a full wall off, and like if you can see, like on his right woodline, he already overchopped. So like to stay fully walled will be a challenge, I think. Like if you want to be walled, you will have to look at it. And I mean, the enemy can contest your woodlines probably with just a few archers. Yeah, although T-Bomber could get a safe woodline if he walls to the forest completely on the left.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that the woodlines that are far away are just absolutely massive. The ones that are assigned to you are not as large.
Yes. And I mean, they seem massive, but like I created many different patterns in there, and like I started with the snowy trees, and then I insert dead trees, and from the dead trees I insert just leaf terrain. So there are many different holes in these woodlines too.
Yep, I like it.
So they sometimes seem bigger than they are.
Okay, Birdfan has gotten loom now. His villagers have 45 HP. I don't know if they have any extra... armor from the handicap. I would think not. But his skirmishers are here now, and they are killing archers. They're driving archers away. They killed one archer, actually. Birdfan... It seems like Birdfan doesn't protect his villagers. He needs to protect his villagers a little bit better. Can be hard, though. Alright, so T-Bomber is on his way up to the Castle Age, and he is researching scale barding armor. So it looks like he's going to go into cavalry. Where's Birdfan? Birdfan has 700 wood, 125 food, and 135 gold. He is, he's not ready. He's not close. So Birdfan, if you can hear me, always build your farms around the town center. And leave space around your town center for more farms. Because if these archers walked like 8 tiles forward, they could take you completely off of food. That stuff matters. Okay, Bird Fan. I think he's killed all the archers over here. There's so many skirmishers now. What's T-Bomber doing? He's making scouts. Alright, interesting. Korean scouts. And a forward siege workshop. Buggy is in chat. Welcome, Buggy. The 30 HP is possible because of the handicap. It's now 45 HP. Because Bird Fan has gotten Loom.
So one thing that Birdfan is feeling right now is the really far away gold spawns. Like his main gold is behind his wood line, and ideally you would tower it in feudal age to be safe, or you would just decide that maybe gold isn't the highest priority for you with your feudal age strategy.
Yeah. What I like that. It powers Byzantines up. So this is a pond in the middle.
Yes.
And
a small one.
Buggy, there's a relic that's next to that small pond. There's always a pond in the middle.
And there's always a pond, there's always ice, and there's always a relic with a wolf.
Yep. And a dead monk.
And a dead monk, yes.
So Birdfan, you cannot fight any number of crossbowmen with villagers. Not unless you outnumber him like 4-1 at least. And even then it's dicey. You just can't do it. You're better off trying to get away and failing than fighting. Okay, Birdfan is on this gold. T-Bomber's pressure is really getting to him, I think. T-Bomber has some scouts here. T-Bomber could totally come up here and fight this now. Or if they're Spanish. No, if you get Loom, your villagers have 40 HP. Alright, T-Bomber marching in with an AI army.
I think T-Bomber found the densest wood lines in the middle. Like these don't have holes like the other wood lines, but I think his lumber cap placement is still not perfect. He left a tile to the left and to the right of it.
T-Bomber hasn't gotten light cap yet, which I think he needs. They would give him an additional pierce armor, and they'd be very effective against the skirmishers.
I mean, he has a mangonel that could take care of them anyway, but I think the scouts will do the job anyway.
Birdfan calls the GG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. There's a mangonel on his town center. Alright, does anybody else want to... I think Birdfan had a 20% handicap. I'm not sure. We'd have to ask. Does anybody else want to play on one of these two maps? And Days and Daras and I will cast them. We've got the one with the river, and then we've got this hyper-aggressive Arabia type map. Alright, yeah, T-Bomber confirms it's 20%. If T-Bomber and Birdfan want a grudge match, we could give Birdfan even more handicap. Could T-Bomber even beat Birdfan on 100% handicap? I kind of want to see that.
I think so. Like he had reasonable resources even in this game with just 20% handicap, and if he would invest into a second unit and not just play, or like if he would invest into a gold unit, obviously that's harder on this map than on other maps with the further out goals. I think he should be able to fight off T-Bomber.
So I'd like to cast another match with Days and Daras. I could play if we can't get two people who are, if we don't have two people who are interested. I could play against somebody, assigning appropriate handicap. But it's really up to chat. What do you guys want to do? Or just helping Days and Daras with his maps. Get him some feedback on them. So did you consider the custom beaches for your river map, Dazendaris?
What do you mean custom beaches? You mean the new DLC beaches?
Well,
Or
if you put down like a gravel beach and then you can layer DLC New Shallow on top of it, then you instead of having the white sand, you'll have a gravelly beach instead. I don't know what look you're going for. It looked like maybe it was supposed to be someplace in Germany.
yeah, in fact, it could be someplace in Germany. That would actually, I think, improve with like the map I'm going for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you could show me later how to achieve that, it would be quite awesome. I think.
I could show you now. Chat is
Show me now.
curious about it. So I think I have the
Sure.
script that I originally sent you. Let's go look at it real quick.
Ha.
And the folks from chat will recognize. Well, chat is organizing. We'll cast it. You guys let me know. Thomas says, do you have any maps? I think that's the same as Tazinator. Do you have any maps where you start with free arena wall foundations? Huh? What? What are you talking about? Do you want us to test a map out, Thomas? Is that what you're saying? What's your time zone? Dazendaris is like in Germany, so it's quite late or early for him, depending on how you look at it. All right, let's go over here. We could do you later on the show if you want, after he's crawled in bed at 3 or 4 a.m. or whatever his sleep schedule's like.
It's typically not that late, but today there will be. I have the permission of my fiance that it can get late.
Nice. Okay, so let's bring up DAH. Here we go. So this is what I sent you, right? Oh, look at that, a wet sand beach. Is it only me who's done that? I don't know. I don't know what you mean, Thomas. I can't answer your question too well. So do you see this this wet sand beach right here?
Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
All right,
I
it
like
doesn't
it.
have to be that one, but all that you got to do, I'll show you the code that's doing it. It's
I probably have to.
Yeah.
I think I have an idea. Can I tell you what I need to do?
Yes. Yep.
So I have to create terrain, and then I create DLC New Shallow, and I upgrade your base like I replace your base terrain. But before I do that, I could just replace the base terrain with the gravelly, and then the new shallows. They already have a spacing of one terrain, so I just need to insert another create terrain, right?
I think so. Yeah, as long as you're using, because you're using B, right?
Yes.
So if you change the definition of B to a different beach terrain, then that could work for you.
Oh, that's even simpler. That's pretty good idea.
Let me see your code again. Bring it up. Okay, can you stream?
Yes, I can stream with my first display. Okay. So that would be just the B constant here that I probably need to change then. And I don't have it open.
It's so great that your fiance understands how important Age of Empires is to you.
She's really nice. She's watching BOA with me right now, like
Battle of Africa. Nice.
Africa, yeah. It's like
so
she understands a few things already.
So show me your script again. You got this. That's good. Let's take a look at your script because we're going to go down to the land generations, and you're using create terrain B, right? Oh, you have it on the right hand side. Okay. Scroll down all the way to the bottom where you put my stuff. The stuff I sent you.
Okay, that's hidden.
It's hidden? Oh, there it is. River generation. That's why I always put the land generation at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got B there. So if you just change
Yes.
what do you got for B anyway? You got 53
It's
DLC birds.
53.
Oh, you have. Why are you using White Beach for that?
I mean, you sent it to me.
Me? No, I sent you the file that you saw with the wet beach. So go ahead and just change it to whatever beach you want then.
Okay, maybe I changed it to another beach.
Maybe you had a reason for that. I'm not telling you one way or another that you have to do this or that it doesn't look good or anything like that. But I'm telling you that as long as you put that beach down, it will put it down, and then when it layers the new shallow over it, it'll retain that beach.
So let's try 70.
No, you cannot do 70
Oh.
because 70 isn't a beach terrain.
Oh.
So you could do DLC gravel beach, and you see the notes on the right hand side. That
Yeah, I
will
see that.
that'll basically tell you whether or not it's a beach. So see how it says
Oh.
non-navigable there? That means it's not a beach because ships can sail on beaches.
Okay.
So if you
And looks like DLC the gravel beach. Okay.
yeah, it looks like it, but it's not the same thing. So you want DLC gravel beach.
It's 108.
It's so if you change that to 108.
Oh, yeah. I
Bam.
like that.
There you go. And I've
So-
even done stuff where like if you can get that elevation to be consistent, then you could like
Yeah.
mask it and layer it. So you could have like you could mask some gravel beach on top of your grass or whatever, so it looks like it's transitioning from gravel into grass. So there you
I
can
mean-
do so much great stuff with terrain masking.
That's good.
Hide it all now.
That. And so I can just do create base terrain mask.
You cannot mask beaches.
Oh, I see.
Unfortunately
Why
not. I don't know. I don't think there's any good reason actually.
That's it. Okay.
But
I
if you made another terrain that was adjacent to that was beach, that looked like the beach, like that non-navigable one that you were looking at, you could
Yeah.
mask that one. But you can only mask terrains that are navigable by ships or land units, but you can't mask terrains that are navigable by both. For whatever reason. Well, I guess no, you just can't mask beaches, but you can technically mask DLC New Shallow, so I shouldn't say that.
But I mean, I can do something different. What's the thing that looks like DLC Gravel Beach?
Yes, you can.
That was 81, right?
81. So you're going to have to define it. You're going to have to do like constant.
Can't I just do like this?
I don't know if you can put 81 there. I don't think so. I've never done it before. I'd be impressed if you could. I use non-navigable gravel beach or NNGB.
Fake beach.
There you go. Fake beach. Look at this. I'm such a scripting nerd. We're all like, oh, we're going to play. It's all going to be action. And then it's just looking at code. Sorry about that, guys. But this is really cool.
It is really cool.
All right, number of groups. There you go. All right, be sure to create terrain. Well,
yeah,
your fake beach. Be sure to use fake beach as your base terrain from DLC New Shallow.
Yes, I am. And
Perfect.
when I do this now again, now I have fixed two problems, I think. I fixed the problem that the ships can go up to the ridge as the river slims over here. And I have now the option to mask the layer.
Whoa. Hold on a second. Is that putting down a second beach on that DLC New Shallow, or is that just like a visual thing? Like are my eyes just not failing me? It almost looks like you have a different kind of beach there. You're putting... Hold on. Go back to your code.
Yeah.
No, okay. So this isn't right. You've obviously got a second layer of fake beach there. So what you need to do is you need to change B. B needs to be the fake beach. And then whatever you have as B now should become the fake beach. So in other words, the lands that you're putting down have to be the fake beach. Because right now, you're putting down real beach, and then you're layering fake beach on top of it, and then you're putting the river on top of that, and it's generating a secondary beach there. So what's the constant number for fake beach? 81? All right, so let's change B to 81 instead. Where is B defined anyway? All right, so B is 108. Okay, change B to 81. Okay, and then fake beach. So that's fake beach, and then change fake beach to the other thing or whatever you had.
It is again.
Okay. So that's not going to work. So you are layering down. Hold on. Where are you defining B?
Up at the top.
So B is 108 now, and now you want.
Oh, it's 81 now. Like it's now
Okay.
it's a gravel beach. It's not a beach terrain.
Okay, and now okay, so now define NNRB as 108. So just do constant NNRB 108. Non-navigable rock beach, NNRB. Okay.
But it's the other way around.
No. Nope. No.
Non-navigable beach is the 81.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
You're sure? Okay.
Yes.
Um.
And I have that. It's already fake
Okay.
beach.
So no. Hold on a second. So the lands that you're putting down have to be the fake beach lands.
Let me please finish what I tried to do.
Okay. All right.
And we will have a look at how it's looking. Okay. I'm going to put on grass over it. Base terrain is the fake beach. That's everything that's left without specific terrain spacing, but it will be a terrain mask 1. Oh, okay. Now I see what you mean with I have to double.
So you see how you have that regular beach on the inside of your gravel beach? Right there, where you're pointing? So in order for that to go away, the lands that you're putting down have to be the fake beach. And then you layer the real beach on top of that fake beach by a spacing of 1. And then you layer the new shallow on top of that real beach by a spacing of 1.
I see. So
the whatever lands it's placing, it's calling B. That needs to be the fake
beach.
So you have some other terrain in there that's converting it.
So let's go back to before we're creating the lands, and before we change the terrain, it should now be gravel.
Okay.
Like this.
So that's all land. So if you went to place an object on that, like if you went to build a barracks on that, you should be able to build a barracks on that. It's functionally equivalent to grass, except it looks like beach terrain.
Okay. And now we're changing.
So now don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
you don't want the new
now
shallow
I need
first.
to do.
Yep. You
I
got
don't
it.
want the new shallow first. I want
You want your 108, which is actually real beach.
My real beach.
Yep.
Real beach, and then I'm layering this on top of that.
And you don't have fake beach anymore. It's just B.
And let's just be. Yeah.
So, hold on, go back. Whoa, what's that over there? All right, scroll up. So you see where you're using fake beach as the base terrain for your real beach?
Oh yeah.
It's not placing that real beach because it doesn't know where it is. There you go.
Awesome. That looks pretty good.
I agree. You might have a hard time masking grass over that. I guess it's masked it in a few places you can see. You could also experiment with like mud if you wanted to. I don't know how much mud you guys have in Germany, though. Maybe grass growing over gravel is more realistic. But you
I'm
can, yeah,
not sure.
see how it did do a good job masking it in some places, so DLC Moorland could be interesting. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty good, actually. I can see that.
Yeah, but it's just doing it on one side, right?
But you have number of groups 9,320, so it should appear on both
Okay.
sides.
Oh,
Nice.
just copy it twice, you know.
You can make water without beach jaw 00, but then you can't dock it. There is a non-interactable beach terrain though.
And when I'm right, then ships right now can't go on the theme, right?
Go ahead and try it. Try to put down a galley object and see what happens.
I will instantly win this, right?
You're going to be instantly victorious. Oh no, you're not. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Like it's reasonable.
Good. Nice.
But on the other hand, now I have the problem that I
What?
do fear that the river is now quite slim.
The river is slim? Oh
Yeah.
man. You're so needy. All right. I
Well,
can increase the thickness of the river.
I can do it myself. I can just
Oh, really?
replace.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're going to mess with the base size, aren't you?
Yes.
What happens when there are land positions at 1 that get replaced to 2? Or does that not work like that?
I don't know. Let's just try it. Oh, maybe I should not. Oh, it's
Okay.
divide a river now.
Yeah.
I think that works out.
And the nice thing about this too is that the river width will scale a little bit more nicely with larger sizes as well. Like the way that
Yes.
I do it, the river actually gets fatter. A lot faster on larger sizes. It's a good
That's
river though.
reasonable for a 8-player size map. Oh, it's
And
still ludicrous.
you want to try putting your deep water mask over the river?
Good. Yeah, let's do that in a second. I just got carried away.
No worries.
I right now I have my script in the order of the game running it.
Oh, no wonder it's so confusing. I always put the lands at the end because I have so many of them. I can never, like, I will never read all of the lands that my program writes to the script file.
I can see why you want to do that, but for me right now it's fine the way it is. Okay, so I will now mask the water. So I will create water.
Yep.
And I place it on DLC Moorland at
maybe no, not Moorland, right?
Oh yeah, true. DLC New Shadows.
Yep.
And now number of tiles like 200.
Yeah, whatever you want. You know, whatever looks good.
Number of clumps 150. Or let's do 50. So I have 100. And
I would recommend a spacing to other terrain types so that, unless you want it to come up right to the edge, or maybe you want it to be further away from the edge.
What's the clamping factor for? It's like -13 or something like that for if you want to get really long and snaky things, right?
I don't know. I never use it.
Okay.
You can't set scale by groups and set scale by size, though.
Oh, I can't.
No, it'll do the last one only. So whichever one you want. That looks really good.
It looks awesome.
You can walk. You can walk right across it. Are we gonna get to play this? Are we gonna get to play this tonight?
Sure. Yeah.
So now your fish are spawning on the edges I guess it doesn't technically, your deep fish, it doesn't technically matter. You could actually do like real water clumps if you wanted. And there is an advantage to it in the sense that if you have real patches of water and the deep fish are in it, then villagers can't walk up to those deep fish and collect from them. The judges, for whatever reason, they hate it when you can build a mill on deep fish and collect from deep fish because it's the fastest food collection in the game. So that might be something to consider. Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe you don't have enough of them for it to be worth it. Maybe you maybe you do a good job of centering those deep fish in the middle of the river, and so you don't have to worry about the mill being right next to the deep fish. And most of the time, the villagers spend collecting from the deep fish is actually spent walking to and from the deep fish from the mill. But if you would like, I can help you center those fish in the water if you want as well.
First of all, I'd like to get my my object generation back.
Oh, okay.
As this map looks like pretty empty right now. Did I?
Yeah.
Some weird commenting here. I mean, it's creating. It's obviously creating this thing, but I think like the player lands seem to be broken right now.
So there's no. Where are all of your neutral objects?
Yeah,
Like
they're all gone.
If the player lands were the issue, then you would be able to create neutral objects, which I guess you're creating some neutral objects, but you had way more neutral objects, right? They weren't all player assigned. You won't be able to create any player assigned objects if your player lands are not done properly.
Okay.
But I think your player lands are well. Okay, I could try changing it back to see if that works. That's strange. All right, we could leave it that way for now. That's bizarre. So you're telling me all of those are player-assigned objects? Everything that just appeared now?
No, not all of them. Like the...
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry. It's not assigned to player, it's assigned to team that I had in my screen. So this basically means that anybody on one team is going to go in one place. No, team, not teams. And so there is no player number -10, but -10 is a designation for any random team.
It's not. What's the
Hold
right
on.
command?
Let me bring up. See what line of code I have for that. Assigned to @team. Here's what it is. So I share it on my screen, and I will send it to you as well. The specific line. I'm sorry for the. Okay. I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
That's the correct designation, and yeah, it's in Zetnus's book.
Oh, I see. Okay.
What if you play FFA? It still works. Okay, there you go. Sorry about that, man.
No problem. Just a small heart attack.
Yep. I recommend. So what are we doing? Are we fixing the ditch next? The ditch around the player lands next?
I mean, that would be awesome.
Unsightly ditch. I recommend making your player land the same terrain as whatever your base terrain that you're elevating is, and then you change your base terrain after that, based on avoidance to the player.
Sure.
I know you don't like it very much, but let's just test it to see if it even gets rid of the problem, right? And if it doesn't get rid of the problem, then it's not worth pursuing.
But
all right, boom. See that?
Would fix the problem, yeah.
So, it's going to screw up your forest a little bit, but that whole avoid player start areas thing will be very useful to you. So
Yeah.
one of the first things that you could do in terrain generation, anything that's not related to your river, is you could put down that alternate terrain. You could change the whole thing. You could change the player terrains to grass 2, and you could change your base terrain to grass 2, right? So that it looks like all the terrain that's on the map is your player lands. And then the very first thing you do in terrain generation is beyond that certain distance of however big you wanted your player lands, you change to what you originally had your base terrain as.
So, yep, I can do that. So it would be all these things here, and then I do these all. Yeah.
Now you might have to tweak your elevation. It looks like you're targeting elevation on specific things. But overall, I think your map is going to be richer for it. I kind of like it though. I think it looks kind of cool, but it's up to you to decide what you want to do. But it is easy when you're tugging on something to find that it's attached to the rest of nature.
Let's have it nicht here. Oh, no,
Yeah, your player lands are done first, and it looks like there's still a different terrain type from the base.
Oh, yeah, true.
So change your base terrain to whatever your
Sure.
player land was.
Yeah, that was my problem. Yeah.
Yep, there you go. And then you can go back, and the first thing that you do is go back to grass. And you'll of course have to elevate grass 3. Bam.
Okay.
Pretty handsome, huh?
Can I get the elevation to get further away from the starting areas?
If you increase the size of your player lands in terms of land growth, maybe that could work. I don't know if it avoids player lands by a certain elevation or if it avoids the origin of player lands by a certain elevation.
I mean, it should be up here and send us in the guide, right?
But you are right. Can
I elevate the whole map?
The whole map?
Yeah, except the river.
Yeah, that's essentially what you're doing. When you create that base elevation or when you create elevation 1 and you're hitting it with everything, then that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, it will make the map even more aggressive.
I'm interested to see what it looks like. So we just confirmed that if you grow the player land size, it doesn't affect that elevation, right?
Didn't change that.
Okay.
But I mean, on this map, on this size, player land growth is completely boxed in by the borders.
Ah, okay. And you can't adjust the borders to let the player land expand outward a bit.
No, because then I mean, I could, but that will get problematic in much bigger maps.
Okay.
So I'd rather not. I mean, but we can do one with DLC more than or something like that. And we can see like how big the player land actually is compared to what we have left.
Okay. So it looks like
I think
you're sort of stuck between choosing that terrain. But if you choose that terrain, then the hills are a lot closer to your player town.
Yes.
Okay. I understand. So I guess it's up to you then. Do you want I think the elevation is a good thing, but I don't know that the ditch is a good thing. The other thing that you might do is if you feel that the hills are close to the player town, you could expand in terrains. You could make it so maybe the wood lines were a little bit bigger or further away to compensate. That might also have the effect of moving the wood lines further from the river, which could be a good thing. But no, I agree. It's tough to get everything you want. People think that scripting is art, and there is a lot of art to it, but it's also engineering. There's a lot of design and trade-off, and how do I do
Yeah,
this?
what I did today was only the art so far. Now it's
No, you did some engineering. Come on.
I did, but doing the so
But you take my meaning, right? If the hills are close to the player town center, it makes it more aggressive. But if you do other things like you make more forests around the player town or something, you might be able to compensate for that.
oh, everything's grass free right now, right? Yes. Okay. So
Yep.
I'm creating grass with a distance of that's just like now
Yeah, how much do you want?
set avoid player start areas of like
Yep.
20 or something like that.
Yep.
The number of tiles, number of
land.
groups, it's like 9, 3, 20 or something like that, right? It's the maximum.
Just use 100% land. Like land percent 100.
That's it.
There you go.
Yep, that's now a little bit too much. That's not doing what I wanted to. Oh, base terrain.
Oh, right.
And I need to obviously do it a second times because
Yeah, you should not have to do that a second time. I don't know why it's making you do it that way.
it's fine.
No, you and I need to start a revolution about it. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. I do like the look of it. Yeah.
I mean, you those things that you could do off TV, right? Because right now we both have presenter syndrome, which decreases our visibility by 100%. Not 100%, maybe like 80%. Stuff that you miss. We're always way smarter off stream. It looks like your mines are not as deep, probably because the elevation of your neutral land that's creating them is now closer to the elevation of everything else around it.
Yeah. I still like it.
Mm-hmm. Would you like some help centering your
Sure,
fish
just give me
in the river? Sure, no problem.
just give me a second. Red terrain desert. That's okay, yeah. Player land creation. I place it. Don't want it anymore.
All right, I'll be right back. Let me refill my water here. I'm back. I have more water.
That's awesome. Water is important.
So, does anybody want to play this map with me or somebody else? It's going to be really pretty. He's updating it. It already is really pretty. It's going to be even better.
Okay, I now got rid of the desert terrain masking. I think it didn't
What was that even
really
doing?
fit.
What was that even
I was
doing
just
before?
there for a visual effect.
Oh.
But I think without it, it looks better. Okay. So now centering the fish, right?
Yep. So where are you making the fish?
Here, down here.
All right. So what you can do is, I like to use on-grid placeholders for
Yeah.
this sort of thing. I guess the fish are going to be, we could try off-grid. So I don't think max distance to other zones is going to do anything,
Yeah.
because
Just not changing anything.
the off-grid placeholder doesn't care where it's placed. Like it's the off-grid placeholder that you're placing. The fish are just getting put on top of it as a secondary thing. It's not going to read and see, oh, you have salmon, so we better respect the fact that salmon can't appear on land, right? It doesn't care what your second object is.
Yes.
So what you should do is go up to and basically create another create object command above that one. I guess right there. And do like, you can do another off-grid. Okay, and then do your brackets and everything like that. Okay, so number of objects. Actually, you don't need a number of objects. Sorry, number of groups. So replace it with groups. All right, so 9320. Set scale to map size. What you already have for the fish. Okay, temp min distance group placement of, let's say, 1. Second object of flag A. But before that, do terrain to place on B, I believe. Terrain to place on, what's your real beach, I think, is what you used.
Oh, yeah.
Real beach. And what this will do is this will put all of these little placeholders on real beach. Okay.
I see.
Okay. And then your second object is going to be flag A, and this is just going to help us visualize what's going on. So we're going to get rid of this second object later. So flag,
A?
capital, underscore A. And it's just a generic flag object. Hold on. Okay, yep. So we got it there. So now we're going to go back to your script. And we are going to create actor area. So in the next line, do actor area. No, don't do create actor. Sorry, that's actor area 1, or whatever number you have. Have you used any actor areas yet?
I've used plenty of actor areas already.
All right,
it's
then
2000 is fine.
2000. All right. Actor area radius of like 3 maybe.
I think 3 is a little bit much. Like
too much. Okay.
Really...
All right. Okay. And then tell the salmon to avoid that actor area.
Yep. That works beautifully.
Yep.
And I guess if I would like to do now, not salmon, but like shorefish, I could, instead of avoid actor area, I could, what's the set place?
Place an actor area is buggy. I don't recommend it. You can actually place shorefish, though, the same way that the salmon are placed, except place them on... Oh, I see what you're saying. You might actually be able to place them on the beach. You could try that. The beach is only 1 tile thick.
That's my 81. No, my 108. Doesn't work that way. So that's my DLC Rebel Beach.
Yep, or your real beach or whatever you want. And again, I like to use Okay, so there you go. You got some shorefish down. See how they're under the flags in some places?
Yeah, but shouldn't they sometimes like be able to spawn one further out?
Further out?
Yeah, like that's like, and they're spawning in
Oh, I
a
see what you're
cross
saying.
section.
So they are technically spawning. Oh, I see what you're saying. So they're underneath that flag, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you need to tell them to avoid those flags as well by like one. And then probably the shorefish, you probably don't need a second object for shorefish actually. They'll spawn on the new shallow, won't they? Without
I
second
didn't
object?
really get. I thought they would, but I didn't think they did it.
So yeah, DLC new shallow there. And then you can tell them to avoid. The thing is though, they're just going to spawn in the middle of it sometimes, which will be annoying.
Yeah, like now I don't get any. Like they're not spawning for me on there.
Oh, right, because they're avoiding by the same distance. So you know what you can do now, all right, is you can, all right, so comment out your shorefish for now, as though you didn't care about the shorefish at all. Just comment it out.
Okay.
So create another placeholder object, except call it flag B this time. So you can literally copy everything that you have for flag A and just change it to flag B. Yep, just like that. Okay. You can, Jaw00 says you can simply use max distance to other zones instead of actor areas. No, because remember that we're placing placeholders. We're not placing fish. Okay, so in this case, have these placeholders avoid the flag A's. So you should have, and maybe give them spacing of 1. So basically, you're going to generate all of these flag B's sort of in the middle of your river, if you will. So your second object for that should be flag B. Okay, looks good. Try it. Oh, wait, no. Get rid of terrain to place on, though. Okay, try that. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's fine.
I think they're
This.
too far out.
Well, wait a second. Wait a second, though. Why aren't they appearing in
I did
the crest there?
I did it avoid actor area. Like this. Oh wow.
Except they need to be on DLC New Shallow.
Yeah, so we do need terrain to set on.
Yep. So these flag Bs need to avoid the flag As.
How
And
do I make them avoid flag A's?
so you go to your script and you tell them to avoid actor area 2000.
Yeah, but then they're avoiding them again with a radius of 2.
Yeah, that's fine. So this actor area and radius that you have there, that's specifying their actor area and radius. So that's the local thing. What I don't understand is why they're not appearing in this fatter portion of the river up there, right? They should have even more space in that location to spawn. Number of objects set scaling to map size, temp min distance, group place, second object, flag B. So actor area 3000, actor area radius 2. So they are avoiding actor area 2000. So actor area 2000 is your beach, but why aren't they appearing in that wide section? They appeared down there just fine, but why are there some wide section? Why is there
I don't
some
know.
wide section there? That's curious. Is that not the correct terrain there?
Do I maybe layer the water wrong?
It's terrain mask 1, so it's not like it should affect it, you know? Like the
Yeah.
game sees it as new shallow terrain.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
So just do, if you would humor me, and just do like 100%. Oh, hold on. Well, no, that's not. It's really not going to affect it. So where are you putting down the shallows on top of the beach? It's all. Oh, what am I talking about? It's something in the objects. It's not the terrain. The terrain looks fine. Um,
One thing that worked with relics for me is moving them up because of the temp min distance group things. Some things like wouldn't spawn because of the, I think, like of the berries or whatever. I don't know why.
No. Temp min distance group placement is just the avoidance to itself.
Yeah, I know.
So
But okay, I don't know what's screwing up things, but if I had relics down in the bottom, they weren't spawning. Then I moved them up and they were fine.
oh, there's something else with a min distance group placement then that's preventing it from being there.
So it's a no. Oh, so
what is that?
What is min distance group placement doing?
Holy! Min distance group placement is making it so that no other object that comes later in the code can spawn within 40 of that.
Better change that.
So you can use huge min distance group placements, but the objects that you use them with have to appear at the end of the code, essentially. Otherwise, you'll never be able to put anything down. That's why Tech Chariot has this a million actor areas to make specific things avoid other things in the Tech Chariot way. There's still something interfering with it. Temp min distance group placement is fine. You got any more of those min distance group placements in there? Oh, birds! Yeah, who cares where the birds are, right? They move around anyway. Predator. So
then
you can put these min distance group placements on your stuff. Just, it's got to be stuff that comes later. You could probably leave that. It's only 3, right? We know it's not affecting it.
I could just make it
temporary.
Yeah, I mean that's what I wanted it to do anyway, I guess.
Yeah,
so
temp. I agree. That's a better solution.
Okay, so that then explains a lot about my problems.
There you go. Bingo.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. So now you can tell the shorefish to avoid those flag bees by, let's say, 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. And it wasn't me that came up with this idea. It's Jaw00, the clever Bohemian scripter. He's in my chat right now. He's at the edge of his seat. Are they going to figure this out?
Area 3000. Was it? Yeah, I mean, it realistically should be this.
Bam. I think that looks pretty good.
It does, yeah.
It's not going to be perfect, right? You see that little shorefish there in the middle of the map?
Yeah.
But that's because I don't want to bog down your code with a million invisible placeholders. But in theory, if you increase the density of these, those shorefish would avoid them more reliably. So if you had denser flag bees, let's say you had a 1, then your shorefish would do a better job of making sure that they were on the edges of the river. Like that.
Like that. Awesome.
This should still be fine. There's still not that many. They can't fit. You've got 9,320, but they can't all fit. So it's fine. Whenever I do map generations, I literally throw so many resources. I throw way more resources than will ever fit, and I just control their actor areas to make them avoid each other and themselves, and it scales quite nicely to map size. So now you can go and you can remove those second object flags. Now that we've visualized how everything works.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I learned quite a few things already.
That's great. I'm happy that I could help you.
You know what I want to do? I have on my berries. I actually have an actor area, I think. Just for the berry forage. They
Oh.
have actor area 100.
Okay.
So I can sell my shorefish to avoid the 2.
Smart.
So that 1 mil won't be able to get you. Now
Yep.
it's gone.
So Jaw00 is bringing up a good point that I was about to mention, would be on the difference between on-grid and off-grid placeholders. So look at the center of your deep fish, right? Your deep fish are
yeah.
on-grid, your shorefish are off-grid. So you need to change that to on-grid. And do you have on-grid defined?
No.
Okay, so on-grid is number 278. That is the dead fish trap.
$279.
278, unless you know 279 is better. So it'll put the dead fish trap down, but you can use effect amount to remove the visual of that dead fish trap. Now these shorefish are snapping to the grid properly, if you see that.
Yeah, I see. Awesome.
Jaw00 would use attribute terrain ID to change the shallow restrictions and place the fish directly. Now this is more fun. Let me send you a line of code to include. Here you go. Make sure that these are included in the player setup section of your script, so that when the players start in single player, they don't see dead fish traps where the shorefish are. If you don't do that, there will be a dead fish trap sinking into the like if you don't do it, it's not a big deal. But this will make it so that when the players first launch the game, the dead fish trap does not appear. There you go. And there's so much stuff that you can do with actor areas and like the networks and like land generations. It's a lot of fun. And I hope you'll keep cranking stuff out for us to test.
I'm on fire right now.
All right, don't forget to define your off-grid placeholder somewhere. Oh, okay, you're doing it up there.
Yeah, I just wanted to move it up to the top. Seems something to be reasonable. So I mean that looks awesome.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you're at the point where you could maybe make design tweaks at this point. All the technical challenges should be solved. You could go into your golds and stuff if your golds are being placed after the fish, and you could tell the golds to avoid your placeholders on the beach terrain if you wanted to, as an example.
Yeah.
Or you could tell them to avoid other zones or something like that. That could be an easier way if you wanted.
Like if I make them avoid the river too much, they will always spawn in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that.
Okay.
Like, there's plenty enough of other gold and stone on the map. So I think that's fine.
Okay.
It's just my creative decision.
Yep. That's fine.
I did a lot of. I mean, I could show you. I did in the
You don't have to prove it to me.
generation.
It's fine. I believe you.
You know, I created all these spaces from
Oh,
the town center.
you did end up using that. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was the best thing to do. Like, these are all different min distances
Oh,
from
man.
the town center.
You're killing yourself with all those invisible actor areas.
I mean,
I got a spreadsheet, you can put everything you want in a spreadsheet and send it to me and I'll run it for you in the future.
The easy thing is I just set the actor area name to the radius itself. So it's not hard to remember. If I want to avoid the radius by
okay.
32, it's actor area 32. That's
Okay.
why I picked 2000, because like everything sub 100 is already used by these things. Then I have the actor areas 100 is like for the main stuff, and I used 1000 somewhere else. So I said like, okay, 2000. I know I never used something that big before, so just use it.
Mhm.
So like I have here all these actor areas for the different resources.
Yep.
So they won't clump up together at one point.
Yep.
And to make sure that like 2 things might spawn in the front, but not much more than that.
Yep.
Like in the end, not everything can spawn there.
Yep.
And for me personally, that fits the idea of an aggressive map.
Yeah, I really like it. I think you've done some good work here. This is your what? Your second map?
It's my second map, yeah.
Exactly. I wish my second map looked this good. I'll show you my second map someday.
I come from a technical background. I already know how to program stuff, so it was just digging my head into the strange ways of how the map generation works.
You want to see my second map?
I'd love to.
I didn't know anything about invisible placeholders on my second map, but I will show you. It was called Moraine, and it was to be a glacier. Where are we?
I mean, I didn't know anything about. I mean, I did know about them. I read about them, but I don't really know how to use them until you told me. So
this is my second map.
It takes quite a long time to generate. It's awesome.
Thanks.
I mean, there's a lot of work in there. What were these black?
What? These?
There were these.
Oh, those are map revealers, or flares,
okay.
actually, so that everybody sees this golden smile at the start of the game.
I see.
The players are actually supposed to start in the opposite corners of the map.
Yeah.
Let me do another generation. I'll show you. And the packed town center, no less. And then they migrate to wherever they want to set up camp. And then they go there. So if they go down here, there's a lot of reeds in the sandy glacial basin. And they can build a dock down here, and they can take the fish, and there's a lot of food. But these reeds are absolutely terrible. They only have 50 wood in them apiece, so they struggle for wood. Or they can come up here, and they have proper wood lines, but then the food's very far away. The food's like all down here. There are caribou that eat lichen off of the rocks, and then on the glacier itself, there are lots of sheep. And at the very top corner of the map, there are a bunch of hookah-smoking monks guarding some relics. So it was a fun community map for sure.
Yeah, I'd love to play that with my friends.
Well,
did they ever play Arabia with me?
Yeah. There's some people that they just like their Arabia maps, but it's the kind of stuff that you can do with lots of land generation and actor area stuff. Although this was developed before my actor area program, so I did not even go in and do all the actor area avoidances and everything like that here. So my very first map was the Shulkill. That's the one I showed you earlier.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
So
I mean that's a pretty advanced first map.
it's similar, right? I was like, does the random map scripting engine, can I put my sine wave into that? And everybody was like, no, it's too stupid. But you can pre-compute it and write it to that. And I was like, oh, all right, I'll do that. So I wrote the MATLAB program that would generate the sine wave.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean I didn't come up with a sine wave. I thought like just like a swirly river, and then you came up with the sine wave, and I was like, I mean, yeah, it fits perfectly.
There's actually a similar map, like it was one of the special maps. It's called Swirling River. I don't know if what it uses for its lands. If it's not a sine wave, because it's not a function. If you drew a vertical line through it, it would fail the vertical line test.
Yeah.
So it's some weird bellows shape, and I should develop a parametric piecewise function that also has a cute bellows shape. And I could make a really lazy swirling river. Jaw00 says the park was his second map. He basically remade all the resource generation now. Okay, so this stream is for your benefit, Days and Derez. So what do you want to do now? I could taunt some guys and try to get them to play with me, but if it's getting late for you, that's fine too.
I just encountered a nice bug where the forests wouldn't spawn for the second player. Glad I captured that now.
Okay.
Just to clean up player land area, so just run player with a third time, right? So
That's right. Just throw more lines of code at it.
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
Yeah, like in my Arabia, I created 12. I have the code in there for 12 unique player land generations.
Yeah, it's annoying sometimes how fickle it can be, and you just have to throw quantity at it.
So sometimes my woodlines grow too much together. So something I can do to I can't space them out by force, right?
No,
It
unfortunately
is
not.
the way it is.
Not unless you place lands for them, essentially. The terrain generation is just very stupid. It's just
Yeah.
it's something you have to deal with.
So I'd love to get all the things available for terrain generation in object generation, and things from object generation available for land generation
Yes.
or terrain generation.
Yes.
That would be so awesome.
Yep.
But
It
I
would
mean,
be nice.
we probably need to wait for the definitive edition in 2040 or something like that.
I don't know.
Okay. What do you think about a fish? Not too much fish, right? It's a perfect amount.
I think the fish is reasonable. There might even be some judges that are like, somebody will mill the fish and get insta food, but I say it's inefficient. It's far away from the mill. You might consider increasing the density of your placeholders that the fish are avoiding, and I don't know though. You could tinker with it. It's just stuff that you're gonna have to tinker with, I think. Oh, Jaw00 coming up with the ideas. So basically, Jaw00 says you can by making it different terrain and then using spacing to other terrain types on the second one. So if you made, like, instead of having 4 forests, you made 2 forests and 2 not forests. And then you told two more forests to avoid other terrain types. I don't know, Jaw00. That seems sketchy. Maybe he's done it before. I think it's acceptable the way that it currently is.
Wait. Oh yeah, I could probably do that.
Maybe you can make more sense of what Jaw00 is saying.
Yeah, I don't know what he's.
He uses it.
To.
What?
So he starts clean up player area. So up here we have just the desert. And if I would now say I only generate I copy this not so often. It's a pain in the ass. It ends with 2 times desert. Layouts. Desert. Bye bye. So. What? Didn't I save that? Oh yeah, no, perfect. Okay. So he says I should only do number of clumps 2 with only, let's say, 80.
Yep.
Or let's say, yeah.
That's the
so
proper scaling. It's
that's
2/3 of
proper
what it
scaling.
was.
So like this, and now I do an intermediate.
Yeah,
on there. That's dirt.
what I assumed he meant.
DLC dirt 4. And now I said,
Alright,
what's that? Avoid.
He said something else. He says you make placeholder terrain for each wood line and then change them all to forest at the end. So maybe he means like, oh, I think I know what he means now. So you put the patches down and you make the patches intentionally larger than you want the forest. And then when you put the forest on top of those patches, you give them a space into other terrain types. So the forest is like sucked away from the edges of that. And therefore they're not able to intersect. I think that's what he means. But he says you have to enlarge the desert area to compensate for that, for the extra space that's needed. So that's the best that I can describe it. Jaw00 did not mean that. All right, well, type away, Jaw00.
I think DLC dirt 4 might be balance.
You create woodline with DLC black. Oh, does Jaw00 mean... No, he can't mean that. Never mind. That's a silly suggestion. I was going to suggest making the entire ring out of wood and then putting patches of forest in it. You create woodline with DLC black, and then make the woodline with farm dead and give it spacing to other terrain types.
I think I know what he's meaning.
So you put down a patch of DLC black, a patch of farm dead, and then when you make the farm dead, you tell it to avoid other terrain types. And then you put the forest on top of... It's almost like if you would put pine forest as one patch, and then oak forest as another patch, and then just change the pine forest at the end.
To avoid others. Yeah, but then I actually need to increase the area because the other forest will spawn closer to the TC than the others because it will avoid the outer ridge edge of my play area. That's something I don't want to do, so it's fine.
I think we do understand where Jaw00 is coming from, though,
yes,
in the end.
I think so. And I mean, if you want to have a less aggressive version of this map, you can just play it as on a tiny map, and you will have a little bit more space to breathe.
Well, aren't they going to be playing on tiny map size anyway?
No, I mean, not tiny, small. Small is less aggressive.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you can play on large, and now it's really not aggressive.
only if by accident.
Yeah. So, I think tiny is fine, and I think it should lead to interesting games.
Okay.
I guess the map where we could probably do a lot more of tweaking is this one. That's the code for this map is so bad. I don't even want to look at it.
I thought it looked good on the outside. So it doesn't really, the judges aren't going to look at what's under the hood. They did come out and say that. Like they said, we're not going to look at the code. Doesn't matter.
I know.
They might do some basic preliminary checks like to make sure that the rule changes, there's nothing in the rule changes that are super confusing, like making crossbowmen cost 50 stone instead of their normal resources or something like that. But they're not going to go in and look at how you made the map and did everything, which I think is the right thing to do. All that matters is, what do you get when you play? What appears on the screen? That's what matters.
So. I'm just replacing forest. So now I moved the other forests further out, so it's harder to wall.
Oh, great! Thanks.
Look at that nice face of red, isn't it awesome?
Oh, poor Red. That's rough.
I mean, he can wall his mangold here. I mean, that's
Yeah, he's got some cliffs to help him.
Yeah, the cliffs actually are useful for him here.
Okay. Well, I think that we're kind of winding down from the 1v1s. It seems like everybody's kind of trailed off, fallen asleep while we were scripting. There might be some opportunity to play. There might be some more opportunity to play a little bit, maybe later tonight or tomorrow. I think we're going to do some community games later, although I'm not sure which map we'll do them on. If you wish, you can update the script that you shared in the server, the script or scripts that you shared in the server.
I will share them now,
and
I will probably
we may be able to test them.
Hand them in tonight now.
Yeah, it'll be nice for you to just like get it done and not worry about it anymore, right? Just
yeah. I mean, I'd love to worry more. I have a whole Sunday to worry about it tomorrow, but.
Well, what? It's probably like 3 a.m. for you or something. So
it's fast 3 a.m. for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I appreciate your time. Makes for a good show. Gives us some good content to talk about.
Yeah.
And
thank you for your help. I learned really many things that would have taken me 100 years to learn by myself.
Yeah, that's the easiest. That's the easiest part. How many hours to the deadline? Jaw00 is asking. I don't know. Probably like 10 or something. I don't know.
It's like 6 p.m. Eastern time or something like that, or like some American US time, I think. So it's like.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It is 6 p.m. Eastern time, but it's midnight your time, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like the end of the day for you on today, which is essentially because it's 3 a.m. for you. So you've got what, 21 more hours to work on it? No, that's not quite right. How many hours to the deadline? Okay, so hopefully you got some good stuff out. It sounds like you learned a lot. I've learned a lot from talking to people that have been scripting longer than I have. And regardless of the outcome, or regardless of whether or not you win anything, know that what you worked on is valuable and important. And there are people out there that would love to play it.
I didn't do this because I want to. Of course, I want to win 400.
You could win more than that.
$. If I could win 800, I have 2 maps. That's true. But no, I did this out of fun. Like I said, I started coding before. So it was a nice idea to get back into it, and I thought like, yeah, let's do it. Gives me a reason to do it again, and I mean, I'd love to have my map featured, not even for money. I mean, just to see other people play on it in a big tournament. That would be all I could wish for.
All right, very good. Well, if you ever adapt your maps for like larger games, like community games, let us know because we'll try them out, and we'll do all kinds
The
of
off map
diplomacy and fun
is
stuff with that.
playable with 8 players.
Okay.
And I'd love to come back to you to get the other one, the River Valley, for 8 players, because I want to space out the spawns for different player numbers.
Okay. We'll see what we can do after the contest is over and you have some more time to work on it.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So we're gonna end the stream here. Someone from the clan will probably be streaming later tonight. We'll probably do more play instead of scripting stuff. So all that good stuff that everybody loves. But big thanks to our guest Days Underas, and hopefully we'll have the chance to work with him again soon. Have a good night, man.
Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody, and we'll probably, if it's not us streaming tonight, somebody will stream, and we'll take part in that. So thanks everybody for being here. Sounds like we helped them out a lot, and that makes me feel good inside, and I think it was entertaining and insightful to discuss as well. So we'll see you guys later, hopefully later tonight.